Luna and her dog Leo vlog about their trips in a van.
Yay.
Their bags are packed and they're ready for a new adventure. Can you spot anything odd in this picture? This van has one extra wheel.
Oh.
Luna fixes her vehicle and they hit the road. Their first destination is the local waterfall, which is a favorite tourist spot. But unfortunately, the map is pretty twisted. Can you help Luna figure out the right path? They should go this way. Luna and Leo arrive at the waterfall and go swimming. Can you spot anything weird here? Take a look at this rock. It has a built-in electrical outlet. The local urban legend says that a cabin near the waterfall is haunted. Luna decides to shoot a vlog. Can you spot any ghosts in this video? The apple is moving on its own. Spooky! What about the basement? Can you find any ghosts? Hello! Luna sets up camp and puts a foil-wrapped pizza on the fire to warm it up. She leaves the camp for a moment to use the bathroom. Then she returns and finds out that the pizza is missing.
Oh my God.
Luna interrogates 3 tourists nearby. Claire says, "I didn't touch your pizza, lady. I'm cheese intolerant." Mike says, "I caught a lot of fish today, so I don't need to steal food." And Vivian says, "I didn't approach your camp, but I saw some suspicious guys sneaking around your fire." Who's lying? Take a look at the footprints left around the camp. These clearly belong to Leo, and these ones to Luna. But there's another pair of human boot prints identical to those that Vivian left on her own camp. Busted!
Oh.
In the evening, Luna parks her van in a desert. She takes out her telescope to observe the stars. Can you find the correct shadow? Only the third shadow matches this telescope perfectly.
Yes!
The next morning, Luna goes for a walk. Oh no! She accidentally tore her backpack. She needs to buy a new one. Luna goes to the nearest town on the way and stops at the local shopping district. Luna is here for the first time, so she doesn't know which store to choose. The first building says, "The best backpacks in the country." The sign on the second building says, "The best backpacks on the continent." And the third building is advertising the best backpacks in the universe. Then, Luna spots a small store at the end of the street. She chooses it without hesitation. What's written on this building? Any ideas? The best backpacks on this street. After shopping, Luna parks her van on a beach. She sees a group of friends hanging out on the shore. But it's not that simple. One of these guys is a werewolf. Can you guess who? Take a look at this dog. Wearing glasses and reading a book is very suspicious behavior for a regular dog, isn't it? That's because it's a transformed werewolf. Suddenly, the wind carries away Luna's hat. She runs after it and faces a strange old guy. He says, "I'll give you back your hat if you manage to find its shadow." Can you help Luna? The fourth shadow is the correct one.
Yes!
Luna and Leo go to the beach cafe. Luna takes a look at the customers and spots a married person right away.
Oh!
What about you? This lady is the only one with a wedding ring.
Oh!
Suddenly, Luna sees Arthur. He's a famous actor. She grabs her camera and takes just one short video of Arthur before her battery runs out of power. She posted this picture later that day, and it went viral. Can you guess why? Arthur is sneaking a golden bracelet from the arm of the local waitress. This picture is so exclusive because it shows a celebrity committing a crime. Oh no! Our next stop is the yoga festival. Luna puts on an entrance bracelet in the lobby and enters the space. After a while, she meets these three people.
Hello!
Each claims to be a yoga teacher. Only one of them is telling the truth. Can you spot the imposters? Take a look at the second guy. There's a warning poster with his portrait hanging on a wall. So, he's a wanted criminal pretending to be a teacher. The first guy doesn't wear an entrance bracelet, so he probably entered the event illegally. Therefore, the first and the second guys are imposters, and the third lady is a real yoga teacher. Luna fastens Leo's leash to the fence and goes to the bathroom. After that, she returns to pick him up, but Leo is gone.
What?
Someone unfastened the collar and allowed him to escape. Luna questions three people standing nearby. Mia says, "I heard your dog barking while I was at the massage parlor. It annoyed me so much that I put on my headphones." Jake says, "I was walking my own dog and I think I saw your Leo running down that hill." And Leah says, "Oh, I would never do something so mean. It's against my principles." Who's lying? Take a look at Jake's dog. It's wearing a collar with Leo's name on it. It's very unlikely that his dog has the same name and is wearing the exact same collar. Jake stole Leo's collar and put it on his own dog. That's why Leo had the opportunity to escape. Oh no! Luna is running across the field looking for Leo. Can you help her? Take a look at this bush. This tail looks familiar. Luna finds Leo. It's getting dark, so the guys hit the road. Suddenly, Luna spots three hitchhikers at a gas station. Only one of them is safe to travel with. Can you guess who? The first lady looks pretty innocent, but take a closer look. She's using a USB connector in her navel to charge her phone. She must be a robot. No, thank you. Next, the second guy has a vampire bite on his arm. He'll probably turn into a vampire soon. Luna should pick the third lady.
Hello.
Luna takes the third passenger on board. Her name is Amy. And she's a travel blogger too. She tells about a secret abandoned town 10 minutes away from their current location. They decide to go investigate this spot together. Can you find anything odd in this area? The stop sign is spelled as S-P-O-T.
Oh.
Leo gets lost again. Luna is looking for him all over the town and eventually comes across a creepy cabin. An old witch opens the door and says,
I have your dog, but I'll only give it to you if you solve my riddle.
The witch puts a big acute triangle on the table.
You can make 7 cuts to make this triangle disappear. Every piece you cut off that is an acute triangle will disappear. But if a triangle has an angle that is right or obtuse, the piece will stay. Once again, you have 7 cuts and you have to make the whole triangle disappear. Not a single smallest piece can be left.
How can Luna do that and rescue Leo? Whenever you make a cut, it will either produce 2 right angles of an acute and obtuse angle. Luna seems to be doomed, but then she looks at the pizza the witch hasn't finished. When you cut it into more than 4 pieces, all angles are acute. Although we're dealing with a triangle, the principle is the same. Luna can first make a pentagon out of this initial triangle by making 2 cuts. Then, just cut the pentagon into 5 pieces, using the 5 remaining cuts. Yay! It's time for a new adventure! Luna and Leo take these 2 pictures before leaving the haunted town for good. Can you spot 5 differences between these photos? Here they are. Luna's brother Luke is working on the other side of the world in New Zealand. Luna misses him very much, so she asked him to take a selfie and immediately send it to her. Luke sends this picture. Luna begins to suspect that he's hiding something from her. Why? The time on her phone is 9 p.m., and the time on the clock behind Luke is the same. It's impossible. They're in different time zones, remember?
Hey, hungry for some new riddles? Okay, here they are. Let's start with this uncomfortable situation that happened on an airplane. On a flight from Denver to San Diego, a flight attendant noticed a woman in an orange jumpsuit. "You're a prisoner!" she screamed, and she was about to report it. No, the passenger exclaimed. "It's just a costume. I'm heading to a cosplay convention." Who do you think is right? I'd believe the passenger. She's headed to San Diego, and there are many cosplay conventions there. But also, look, her jumpsuit looks new, as if it hasn't been worn. But more importantly, there is a ticket to the convention lying by her side. Tom is about to cross a railroad bridge when he spots a big truck right in front of the underpass. It's not moving. Tom stops and asks the driver what happened. The truck is 1 inch higher than the indicated height of the underpass," the driver says. "Unfortunately, this is the only road to my destination, and I am not sure what to do now. I must make the delivery on time, and the clock is ticking." What can the driver do to get through the underpass fast? The truck driver can let some air out of the tires, just enough to make the truck an inch lower. Sam and James are best friends, and they both are on a school basketball team. They always make bets, and today's bet is the following. Listen, dude, I bet $10 that I can predict the score of the game before it starts, says James. Sam accepts. Soon enough, he passes James his $10. How come? The score before the game is always 0-0. That's what James said. Here's another bet, but you need to think outside the box to find the solution. Alex was at a carnival and went to a magician's booth. The man told Alex, "If I write your exact height on this piece of paper, you'll have to give me $5. If I make a mistake, I will pay you $10. Alex agreed and then lost his $5. How did the magician win the bet? Especially since he's just a fraud and has no magical powers whatsoever. The magician handed Alex the paper, and here's what was written on it: your exact height. Maybe it's a bit unfair, but very precise. A local police department got a call. Someone reported that a big robot was roaming the city, crashing everything around. After a bit of digging, the police traced the robot's creator, a scientist living on the outskirts of the city. Here's what the scientist said: "I created that robot, but I didn't mean any harm. Today it just went crazy and wouldn't listen to me. I've been trying to stop it, but nothing works." Luckily, the police managed to capture the robot. Now they have to figure out what to do with the scientist. Did he really try to stop the robot, or was this just his evil plan? What do you think?
I am a robot. I am a robot.
Look, the switch on the robot's body is in the off position, yet the robot still functions. It means the scientist indeed tried to turn it off and is probably telling the truth.
Robot.
Now, let's train your eyes a bit. We're in a city of superheroes, and almost every house here is owned by some well-known superhero. I'll show you different interiors, and you have to figure out who the house belongs to. Deal? Alright then, here's the first one. What's your guess? I bet you notice spider webs everywhere. Yes, it's Spider-Man's house. Here's the next one. What do you think? Does it ring a bell? Have you noticed those boots in the corner and a lasso? Yes, that's the residence of Wonder Woman. Let's move on to her neighbor's house. Who do you think it belongs to? Have you noticed this big hammer? Yeah, it's Thor's house. Okay, let's move on. Here's the interior of yet another house in the area. Can you guess who it belongs to? The scratches on the walls and couches hint at the one and only Wolverine. And here's the last one for today. Pay close attention and maybe you'll get it right. Well, the one living here is a patriot, with all those American flags all over the place. And there's a shield over there. Yes, of course, it's Captain America. Now, it's your turn to be a superhero. I'll show you two situations, and you'll have to decide who you need to save and who can manage on their own. You ready? Here's the first pair. Maya is running late and taking a shortcut on her way to school. Emily is driving to her aunt's house. Who should you save? Which one of them is in danger? Definitely Maya. Look, the shortcut is actually a frozen lake. But can you see the cracks? Yep, she might drown. Hurry up and save her. Good job. Now, there's a new pair for you, but only one of them needs your help. Tommy is walking to a birthday party and is texting while walking. Jaden is together with his friends. He's answering his girlfriend. Who is in danger? Both guys might fall into the maintenance hole on the way, but at least Jaden is with his friends. They'll probably notice the danger and warn him. Tommy is alone, so he might need your help. Riley is on vacation. She's on the beach, getting tanned and enjoying the waves and the breeze. Chloe went on a camping trip to a local forest and stopped for some snacks. Who is in danger? It's Chloe. It's not safe to eat unknown berries. And these ones are definitely poisonous. Just look at the poor bird that obviously munched on those. You need to come and stop the girl. Okay, off to the next case. Liam is strolling through the city and Wendy is jogging in a local park. Who is in danger? A large tree branch is falling from a big height, and Liam is wearing headphones, so he won't hear a thing. He's the one who needs your help. Okay, here's your last superhero case, so look carefully. Leah and Mary went for a walk in the woods and encountered a bear. Long story short, the bear is now chasing them. Which one of them really needs your help? It's Mary. The girl is wearing heels, not the best choice of footwear since they will definitely slow her down. Hey, thanks for your help. Now here's another riddle. Keep your eyes wide open and use your logic. Melanie isn't doing well in school, so she is grounded for all winter holidays. She's supposed to study the whole time. But luckily for her, her mother often works night shifts. So every now and then, she isn't at home. Of course, Melanie sneaks out to see her friends. She tries to be very careful so that her mother doesn't notice anything. But one early morning, her mom comes back home and realizes that Melanie sneaked out of the house at night. How did she figure it out? Look, Melanie's car is the only one in the neighborhood that's not covered in snow. It means she used it not so long ago. So I can see that you can connect the dots well. I have another task for you. You see, there are a few suitcases that got lost at an airport. I'll show you what's inside, and you'll have to guess the professions of those who the suitcases belong to. Deal? Okay, here's the first one. What's the profession of its owner? This one definitely belongs to a ballerina. Perfect! Here's the second one. What do you say? It must be a photographer's suitcase. Good job! Here's more, and it's harder. Any ideas? Well, I'd say it belongs to an architect. The fourth suitcase is coming your way. Take a look. Okay, what's your call? This one probably belongs to a police officer. Great! What about this one? Yes, it must be a hairdresser suitcase. And here's the last one for today. Any ideas? I'd say it belongs to a pilot. That's it for today. Thanks for playing with me. You did well.
Sir Lionel was a very rich man with many servants working in his mansion. One day, as he was about to go on a business trip, his night watchman warned him not to board his flight.
I had a dream last night that something bad will happen on that plane.
Sir Lionel got annoyed at first, but since he was also a bit superstitious himself, he decided not to take the flight. Later that day, as he was watching the news, he saw that his plane did get lost on a deserted island. He first thanked his employee and then fired him. Why? Because as a night watchman, he's not supposed to be sleeping on the job. Eduardo was walking to his home late at night when he suddenly heard an evil laugh and was magically transported to a peculiar reality show as a contestant. The evil presenter showed him 3 doors. Behind the first door, there was a room filled with venomous spiders. The second door opened to a chamber containing toxic gas. The third door revealed a space with the floor covered in sharp shards of glass. In which room will he have a better chance to survive? He should pick the room with the floor covered in shards of glass. See? He has his boots on. Those can protect him from getting hurt. Late at night, Detective Forsyth was patrolling a quiet neighborhood when he heard a scream coming from one of the houses. Rushing to the scene, he found a group of friends gathered, and one of them, Manny, claimed he had just seen a ghost in the backyard. Forsyth questioned each friend to determine the truth. Lola said she had been reading a book in the living room. Joyce claimed she had been cooking in the kitchen. Emily mentioned she had been taking a nap in the bedroom. And Manny, the one who saw the ghost, insisted he had been gardening in the backyard. Detective Forsyth quickly identified the liar. Who was it and why? It was Manny. His claim of gardening in the backyard was false because it was late at night. And if you take a closer look, there are no garden lights to illuminate the area. So, no one would be gardening in the dark. You are listening to your favorite radio program, I'm a Survivor, in which one of the listeners who participates in the weekly questions gets a chance to win $5,000. This week, you finally decided to try your chance. So, you call the program and the host gives you your question. In which situation do you have more chances to survive? If you're falling from a 10-story building, or if you find yourself surrounded by a swarm of bees. Can you win the $5,000? The bees buzzing around you might not be aggressive and might not cause you any harm. But when you're falling from that kind of height, unless you're Spider-Man or something, Professor Orion was an eccentric scientist who had a collection of enchanted doors in his laboratory. Each door led to a different dimension. He wanted to invite his friend, Beth, to his laboratory, but first, he needed to make sure she was worthy of exploring the realms beyond with him. So, he asked her this riddle. I fly without wings, I cry without eyes. Wherever I go, darkness follows me. What am I? Do you know the answer? The correct answer is cloud. Jason was about to graduate, but his faith was going to be determined by whether or not he could pass his algebra test. When he got his exam paper, this was the only question his professor asked. If it takes 30 men 30 minutes to dig 30 holes, how many minutes does it take one man to dig one hole?
Can you help Jason graduate? It takes one man 30 minutes to dig one hole. Rose bought an old mirror from the antique store. But when she brought it home, the mirror pulled her inside and transported her into a magical castle with no escape. After checking every room to find an exit, Rose discovered 3 doors in the dungeon that could help her go back home. However, behind the first door, there was a raging fire. Behind the second door, there were thousands of venomous scorpions. And behind the third door, there was a pitch-dark maze filled with underground holes one could easily fall into. Which door should Rose choose? She should choose the third door. See the wood branches on the floor? She can take one and turn it into a torch and go through the maze. This way she can see the holes and avoid them. In the town of Puzzleville, Master Albert held an annual event known as the Night of Riddles. Every year, when the clock struck midnight, he asked the crowd one particular riddle, and the one who could answer it correctly would be crowned the Riddler's Apprentice. This year, he asked, "What is the one question you cannot truthfully answer yes to?" Can you answer it and win that title? The answer is, are you asleep yet? As Nicole was driving across a road at night, her phone's battery ran out. Unfortunately, she forgot to take her charger with her and there was nowhere she could get a new one. So she got lost without being able to use the Maps app. The road in front of her split up into 3 smaller roads, and there was a sign at each of them. The first sign said, "Toxic swamp ahead." The second sign said, "Werewolves ahead." And the third one said, "Active volcano ahead." Which one should she pick? It might be a cloudy night, but you can still catch a glimpse of the moon, which is not full. So she should pick the second road, since werewolves won't be there during this time of the month at least. In the futuristic city of Cyber Harbor, people communicate through holographic messages. Xander received a hologram from an anonymous sender with a cryptic riddle. Only if he could answer the riddle correctly that the sender's identity would be revealed to him. What is always in front of you but can't be seen? Can you help Xander discover the true identity of the sender? The answer is the future. Ernest and William are 2 logicians. They both pick a whole number from 1 to 30 inclusive. The following conversation occurs between them. Ernest: "Is your number double mine?" William: "I don't know. Is your number double mine?" Ernest: "I don't know. Is your number half mine?" William: "I don't know. Is your number half mine?" Ernest: "I don't know." William: "I know your number." Considering all the statements are true, what is the number Ernest picked, and how did William know? The correct answer is 4. From their first exchange, we know that William's number is even. Otherwise, he would have known that it couldn't be the double of a number. From the second exchange, we know that Ernest's number is a multiple of 4. Otherwise, he would know that it couldn't be the double of an even number. From the third exchange, we know that William's number is 14 or less. Otherwise, he would know that it couldn't be half of the largest possible multiple of 4. From the fourth exchange, we know that Ernest's number must be 4. Otherwise, if it were 8 or more, he would know it couldn't be half of a number that's 14 or less. And the only possible multiple of 4 that's less than 8 is 4. Andy and Bernie were trapped on an island surrounded by swift currents. Luckily, they heard the thrum of a helicopter, but before it passed them by, they needed to attract the pilot's attention to save themselves. They had to use mirrors or flashlights. Just as they were losing hope, Bernie had a brilliant idea. Soon after, the helicopter spotted them and rescued them. How did Bernie do it? Look at all the tropical, large, colorful leaves and flowers around. He used them to create a makeshift SOS sign on the ground. It's Christmas time, and I have fun wintry holiday riddles for you to solve. Let's start with a few optical illusions to train your eyes. First, look at this cubical tree. Which way do the cubes face? Both ways, actually, depending on how you look. Take your time and try to see them facing both ways. And in this illusion, you can see 7 candy canes. What do you say? Are they parallel? The diagonal lines make it way trickier. It definitely doesn't look like the canes are parallel, but they are. If you don't believe me, take a ruler and check for yourself. Another tricky question for you. Which one of the red snowflakes is bigger? A trick question yet again. They are exactly the same size. It's an optical illusion that makes you see them differently. Here's a wrapped present. Is it a present in the corner or a present missing a corner? Again, it can be both. Try to see it. There's the third way. 2 presents, one big and one small, next to each other. Now, how about you try to guess emoji-coded holiday movies? I'll give you a combination of emojis, and all you have to do is guess which movie it represents. Let's go. Here's the first one. A green monster with a dog. That's for sure the one and only Grinch. So the movie is The Grinch. Okay, good job. Here's the next one. Another holiday classic. Yes, it's our favorite, Home Alone. This one's a bit harder, but I think you can crack it. Yes, it's the Nutcracker. It's getting progressively more difficult. Can you figure out what this one is? It's the Polar Express, of course. Have you seen it? How about this one? Does it ring a bell? It's Tim Burton's The Nightmare Before Christmas. And here's the last one. Do you recognize it? Well, that's pretty straightforward. A holiday elf can only represent another holiday classic, Elf. Okay, now let's play Santa. There are a few teenagers who don't believe in Santa anymore, so they didn't bother writing any letters with their wishes to him. Yet, Santa really wants to bring them gifts. He sends a few of his elves to observe the teenagers and decide which present would make each of them happy. Can you help them figure it out? Okay, here's the first room where Poppy lives. Which gift would be the best for her? It seems she likes beauty contests and makeup, so a makeup kit will be a good fit for her, don't you think? This is Arwen's room. What is the best possible gift for her? Judging from all the posters on her wall, she likes skateboarding. And what is right here in the corner of her room? A broken skateboard! She'd probably love to get a brand new skateboard, so that's for her. The next one on the elves list is James. Here's his room. Is there anything that will help you decide the best gift? He seems to be playing for the school's basketball team. So how about a basketball? Could be nice. The next person is Leah. Here's her room. What do you think Santa should get her? Look around. There's a book by her bed and hundreds of them on the shelves. I bet that Leah is a bookworm, so giving her a bunch of books would be a good idea. The problem is to decide which ones she hasn't read yet. And here's the last person to visit today, Neil. What do you think is a good gift for him? Well, Neil is obviously an artist, so some art supplies would be a go-to for him, right? Okay, great job! How about a few riddles? You can find us both in Harry Potter and in the Lord of the Rings books. Without us, there would be no presents during holidays. Who are we? Elves, of course. 24 doors, each day a surprise. In December's countdown, joy underlies. So what is it? It's an advent calendar. I have two colors. I'm minty yet sweet. So what is it? It's a candy cane. Sugar and spice in walls so sweet. What am I? An edible treat? A gingerbread house. I fall in the winter but never get hurt. What am I? It's snow, of course. And here's the last one of these. You can hold me and even shake me, but I'm easy to break. I have lots of snow, but it's all fake. What am I? And that's a snow globe. It was the winter holiday season, and Esme went for a walk in the forest. Of course, she got lost. Gladly, she found a witch's house, walked in, petted a cat, and asked the witch to take her home. But the witch wouldn't do it for nothing.
I will let you go if you solve a riddle. Look, I've got 4 frogs. Here are the names of the 3 of them. Carol, Eve, and Christina. What is the name of the 4th one? Alice, Jane, or Holly?
Can you help Esme? It seems like all names of the witch's frogs follow the theme of winter holidays. So I would assume that the name of the fourth one is Holly. This one night a year, Santa Claus leaves his workshop at the North Pole and travels the world to deliver presents. Which direction does he travel first? Santa lives at the North Pole, so whenever he goes, the only way to travel from there is south. It's that one morning of the year, and Emma rushes down to see her presents. But there's also a letter from Santa, and here's what it says.
Dear Emma, you have been relatively good this year, but I can't look past a few not-so-good things you've done. I know you will do better next year. This year, I left you a gift, but you will need to find it. If you open the wrong one, everything will disappear. So be careful. Your gift is wrapped in white paper, doesn't have a red ribbon, and isn't small. Happy holidays, Santa.
Can you help Emma find her present? It's this one right here. White, gold ribbon, and big. Noelle is obsessed with holidays, and every year she wants to do as many Christmas activities as possible. Can you find all holiday-related objects in her house? Let's start with the bedroom. You need to find a gingerbread house, a candy cane, a Grinch costume, some wrapping paper, and paper snowflakes. Here they all are. Have you found them all? Now let's move to the living room. It's messy too, so you need to keep your eyes wide open. Can you find a stocking, a Christmas tree, Christmas lights, a nutcracker, and a poinsettia? There they are. How many have you found? When Mrs. Miller came home from work, she noticed that the presents she had prepared for her daughters were arranged differently. Someone must have sneaked in to look at them. Now she was determined to find out who it was. So she asked her daughters if anyone had been to her room that day. Diana said, "I didn't go there. I was decorating the tree." Mia said, "And I was busy decorating the house." Jessica said, "I didn't go there either. I was building a snowman outside." Which one of them lied? It was definitely Jessica. There is no snowman outside, and there aren't even any footprints in the backyard, so no one has been there in a while. A similar situation happened with Mrs. Miller's friend, Mrs. Jones. Mrs. Jones had 3 sons, and she noticed that someone had sneaked in to look at the presents while she had been shopping. Here's what her son said. Jake said, "I was busy wrapping presents I got for everyone. Here they are." Noah showed the cookies he made. "I was baking these cookies the whole time and never left the kitchen." David said, "I was outside shoveling the driveway." Which one of them sneaked in? The presents are indeed wrapped, the cookies are made, and the driveway is really clean. But look, the cookies are burned. If Noah had really been watching them, it wouldn't have happened. He probably sneaked out to look at the presents, and that's why the cookies burned a little.